holiday home tour time. And today I'm taking you inside my home for a little holiday house tour and showing you all the Christmas decorations and designer ideas and charming decor tips that are sure to inspire you to deck your halls with a little extra Christmas cheer this year. So right on into the entry. This is one of my favorite places to decorate for the holidays because it's kind of like a little first impression for the house when visitors come over, or family and friends, all that stuff. So of course I always do a little table vignette, and I like to mix faux greenery and the real stuff. I decorate for Christmas really early, so my garland and my trees and my wreaths, those are all artificial because I mean they won't last for 2 months. Let's be honest, I decorated like at the beginning of November, maybe even at the end of October. But I do like to do a fresh arrangement on the entry table, and then of course a little candle, a bowl of ornaments, and some candies for my visitors. Then on the staircase, I did the garland, the same exact garland that I have around the front door and on my mantle, and wove in these really beautiful red berries. It's that deep ruby red color, and then it just made the garland feel so naturalistic. I absolutely love it. And then I accented with the ruby red bows, and then of course some little bells. I've got bells all throughout the house. To me, they just signify Christmas charm, and I love that they add a little bit of sparkle without being over the top. Now a little further into the entry, I've got this bar cart, this really great mirror that's for my collection that I added a wreath to, and of course a ruby red bow, and then just a little arrangement of berries and sprays, and then this awesome vintage set of wise men candlesticks that I'm obsessed with. So that's the entry. It's charming, it's welcoming, and it sets the perfect tone for the rest of my holiday home. Now the great room with the Christmas tree. So bringing that charming Christmas theme in here, I wanted it to feel very welcoming and naturalistic and whimsical. So of course the garland on the mantle this year, I did an asymmetrical swoop, and I really love it. And then I added these little ornament garlands to it, the berries, the fairy lights, the bells, the bows. I mean, it's an extravaganza. And then of course I've got the candlesticks up here. I added my little moss wreaths there, and then this beautiful black swan. She needed to make her holiday debut. I found her at an antique store, I guess it was like September, and I knew that she would be on my Christmas mantle, and she looks absolutely lovely presiding over all of the Christmas decorations. This tree is my favorite Christmas tree ever. I am obsessed with it because yes, it is a decorator tree. It's got all these beautiful designer ornaments on it, but it also feels super nostalgic, and it doesn't feel stuffy, I guess is a good way to put it. So I've got all of these really beautiful ornaments that feel collected and handmade, and they add a ton of texture to the tree, which is what I was going for. I started off decorating the tree this year with this jingle garland, which if you guys got on the holiday collection on my website, this jingle garland sold out, I think, in like the first few minutes that it was live. I mean, it is just so cute. I love it. It adds a little sparkle and that little jingle to the tree. And then I did red berries throughout, and then I started layering in all of these beautiful handmade ornaments. And it just created, honestly, the charming Christmas tree of my dreams. Topped it all off with, of course, our ruby red bow. And I have enjoyed looking at this tree ever since I put it up, and I will enjoy it for the rest of the holiday season, that is for sure. Now, another thing that I love to do is to make sure that I've got some type of greenery on a lot of the surfaces during the holiday season, because I think it just adds that natural texture to the space and just makes everything feel very special for the season. So I've got a really pretty arrangement here on the cocktail table, added in some of these really pretty mercury glass ornaments to the alabaster bowl. And then the favorite on the table is this adorable sleigh bell. You probably have seen me talk about these sleigh bells before. We have them in our Christmas collection every year. They're handmade from an Amish family in Pennsylvania, and they are true holiday heirlooms. Okay, lastly, something that I like to do as well, and this may give you a little spark of inspiration, is just take a little string of jingle bells. We've sold these for the past few years. I love these little guys. You can add them to wreaths, and then you can also just add them to a lamp. Just brings a little bit of a holiday sparkle simple to a decorative piece that you already have in your home. And I think it just makes it feel special. Now onto the other side of the room. And I will say that this part of the great room is where a lot of our friends and family sit when we entertain, because it's connected to the kitchen. So they can sit here, have a conversation. The swivel chairs can face the kitchen. They can be a part of the action. So I always like to make sure that this feels really welcoming and special. And this is the place where I like to display my vintage nativity set. I guess I didn't wrap them very well last year and I had some breakage. I had to glue some of the camel's heads back on, but I did and it looks okay. And I just think it's so beautiful. It's got this pearlescent glaze on it. And it is one of the things that I really look forward to putting out every year. And I love that it's right here in the great room. I can see it from the kitchen and it can remind me and my family and our friends really what we're celebrating for the Christmas season. One of the tips I want to give you is when you're thinking about decorating for the holidays, maybe think outside of the box sometimes. So this is a Greenery swag that I have that you could put over a mirror or a window, but I love adding it to the top of this tabletop easel. It just brings some holiday kind of feeling over to this side of the room, and it was super easy. I mean, I literally just sit it on top of the easel. That is a decorator tip right there. Now, for the rest of the space, I did a live arrangement here, and then I want to show you this. This is a really cute little idea. These are some hurricanes that I have, and I always like to change out my holiday candles and like bring in the seasonal color that I'm using for the holidays, and of course it's that ruby red. So I added the candles in the ruby red to the hurricanes, and then I just wired in some cedar stems from my cedar trees outside. And that's so easy. It's free. It looks great. It brings a little greenery down to the tabletop surface. And I think it turned out so cute. Now then, some more of the ornaments in a little tray. And of course, a jingle bell. That's it I did for this side of the space, but it looks festive and it looks welcoming. And it's perfect for a little Christmas chat with a cocktail. Okay, time for the kitchen. Now this, of course, is the heart of the home pretty much all the time, but definitely during the holiday season. And I like to decorate my kitchen for the Christmas season. So, of course, I've got wreaths on all the windows throughout this space and our family room. I love adding in rosemary topiaries, paper whites. I did this adorable little clementine tabletop tree, and just some little festive touches here and there. For me, having greenery on my countertop surfaces just makes me feel happy. I've got plenty of countertops that I can kind of add in a little bit more during the Christmas season on top of my countertop space, because I don't need all of the workspace, and it just makes it feel super special and festive. I also decorated the entire, like all of our shelving with garland. I've got my amaryllis bulbs over here, and then just a couple of holiday touches with some of my collected vintage Christmas cards. Next up, the family room. So our family room is literally a part of the kitchen. It's connected to our kitchen. So this is truly where we all hang out, not just during the holidays throughout the entire year, but the Hallmark movie marathons happen right here on this sectional because the TV is right here. So I like to decorate this space with the ultimate level of nostalgia, and that is done through this tree. So this Christmas tree is full, overflowing with all of the collected ornaments that we have collected throughout the children's entire lives. Actually, I started collecting Christmas ornaments probably when I was in high school. So we've got ornaments that signify every kind of major milestone in my kids' lives and in my life, and just all the places that we've traveled to. It's just a really beautiful kind of journey of our lives. Of all of the holiday decorations in my home, this Christmas tree means the most to me, and it actually is my kids' favorite thing in the house as well. So the tree is the feature of the room, but I do like to add a little Christmas charm here and there to the other surfaces. So I did a wreath on this candelabra, add a little arrangement to the cocktail table, and then, of course, a jingle bell. I've got this sleigh bell. It's a heart shape. Oh, I love this one. This was new for us this year. It's probably my favorite of all of my sleigh bells. And then another tip I want to say is that when you're changing out your decor for the season, I always like to add in colored books. So I've got some really beautiful antique books in a beautiful ruby red and green green, and they just add a lot of depth to my tabletop surfaces. So that's a great takeaway when you're decorating for the season. Add some colored books to your tabletops. On this side of the room, all I did was add a couple of wreaths to the windows. I've got my topiaries, added some greenery to the top of the bar cabinet, a few red bows, and that's it. And it just feels really cozy and warm in here. I love spending time in this space. I'll, of course, turn on holiday music when I'm cooking dinner. I've got the Christmas tree. I've got everything all decorated, and it just makes me feel really happy in my home during the holiday season. Okay, so we're in my bedroom, and I do like to decorate my bedroom a little bit for Christmas, and I think it's something that we should probably do for ourselves. If you really like Christmas decor, bring it on into your bedroom. It'll make you feel good every time you walk in. So for me, that needed to be simple and classic and elegant, of course. So I did a wreath on the window. I've got a couple of wreaths on the mirrors flanking my bed, and then just a couple of little touches here and there. Some greenery above the curio cabinet and a little arrangement on my bedside table with a little tree. That's it. I didn't get crazy. I will say I did change out my bedding, which, it is so gorgeous and so cozy and perfect for the winter months to come. But I just always like to make the personal spaces in our home feel the way that we want them to. And I think we're decorating for Christmas. A lot of times we decorate for our guests. I mean, obviously, you know, especially if you're hosting, you're having holiday parties and people over at your home for the holidays. But for me, our personal spaces are just as important, and how we feel in them really makes a big impact on how we feel throughout the entire season. Christmas can feel rushed and hectic, so give yourself the treat of decorating your bedroom. It will make the Christmas season even more special. Now, let's go into the bathroom. I'm gonna show you a couple little touches I did in there. So I didn't get crazy in my bathroom, but I did add a couple of little things. So I did some wreaths on my sconces, and I did a little cedar arrangement on my countertop. Bows, of course. And I do want you to note that I used that ruby red throughout the rest of my house, but because I have a lot of mochas and deep like chocolate browns in my bedroom, that's the color of ribbon that I used in my primary suite. So I've got this really beautiful deep chocolate brown taffeta ribbon that I did on the wreaths in here and on the wreaths in my bedroom, and just adds an elegant touch, a festive touch, but it keeps in the theme with the rest of the decor that's in my bedroom and bathroom. Well, thank you for coming on my holiday house tour. I hope that you enjoyed every room and that you got inspired to decorate your home in a really meaningful and beautiful and maybe charming way this year. Now, if you want a little bit more of an insight into how I actually put all the decor pieces together, how I did the garland that's on my front porch and all the garland on my mantle and my tree and all the things, then meet me in this next video and I'll teach you every single designer trick I have up my sleeve. I'll see you there.